Good morning. My name is Judge Person. I do welcome everybody to the Temple Municipal Court. And while everybody's kind of getting into the meeting, I have a few folks I was not able to identify. I believe a gentleman named Mike in the top, orange shirt. I believe you're here for Allzip. Are you Mike McClellan?
Your Honor, I'm here, yes, for Allzip. I'm Mike Russell. I'm the attorney for that corporation.
Okay, I'm just going to name you for that corporation just so that I don't lose track of you, just for the purposes of this meeting. Thank you. And let's see. Person ending in phone number phone number ending in 754. Let's see. Are you there, caller?
Yes.
Hi, could I get your name, please?
Yes, Alan McCready. I apologize. It's my first time with Zoom.
That's okay. I see you're on visual and phone. I won't be confused by that. Thank you. All right. And then I also am looking at, we ascertained John was, okay, John Elwell. Person named John, I'm assuming it's John Elwell. Could I just
Yes,
confirm
ma'am.
that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Elwell. Great. All right. So my name is Judge Person. I do welcome everybody to court this morning. And I do want to give you some basic information before we get started. We're working two lists today. You're on a list, and that's why I'm checking names. The public's allowed to watch, of course, on the YouTube channel that we have set up, and there's a link through the city's website as well. But I did want to let everyone know I'll be creating what is called a breakout room, and the breakout room will be the pretrial room today. And Ms. Warren is here. Ms. Warren, if you could give everybody just a quick hand. Ms. Warren's here for the state of Texas. She represents the state in the matters that will come to trial. And I'm actually going to begin that breakout room because I actually had an attorney come in first. I believe, who was for Gaston? Mr. McClellan. Yes, Mr. McClellan's here and also Mr. Russ, yes, for Allzip. So I'm going to go ahead and begin that because those are folks who probably know the pleading options in the cases, and I can go ahead and begin that room. So let me open that. Ms. Warren, I'll go ahead and get you started, okay? With attorney who was here first is for Allzip, and let y'all begin. And for those who don't know, you'll get when you're being sent into that quote room, you'll actually receive an invitation and you'll disappear from my screen briefly. When you're done with that pretrial, you'll actually come back to this room so that we can finalize anything. Or if things aren't reaching a conclusion, which is fine, we'll start going back over what we need to know in terms of heading to trial. So I do want to let you know when you're given a ticket or issued a citation, those are all methods that we have under the law for accusing someone. That's what a ticket is. It's an accusation. And when you give a plea, okay, you're giving an answer or a response to that accusation. And in this type of court, this is a Class C court, we assess fines and costs. We normally don't assess jail time. Jail time happens in Class C courts when you fail to come to court on time, when you fail to appear, then at that point, sometimes you're subject to a warrant, okay? But warrants really are, I'm not kidding when I say this, your choice, okay? I know that sounds a little funny. I'm getting things in order while I talk to folks. Warrants are really optional, okay? What I mean by that is if today, for example, you wind up with a court order, let's say you decide you want to use one of the remedies that I'm going to talk about in a moment, and you want to use that remedy and keep an item off the record, for example. And I'll talk more about what that means in a moment. we will put everything in writing, okay? And we normally are going to require your signature. And if you wind up doing the things listed in your written order, sometimes you get a dismissal, or you wind up just with something that can be, no longer tracked, because we all have a duty to keep up with our cases, and you'll have a duty to follow that court order. So what I'm going to say is, the way that a warrant happens is if somebody says, yes, I'll do a driver safety course, for example, and then they either don't do it, or they do it and send it and we never receive it, or they just never send it in for whatever reason, then we can wind up with something that we need to try to pursue and finish. And if we're attempting to finish a court order like that and we can't reach you or get you in to solve it, then you wind up going to warrant. So warrants here are for not showing up and not following through. And that's really the only time I sign a warrant. And I always try to give you an opportunity to be heard on what I think might be the problem. And if I think there's a problem, I try to tell you, hey, I think there's a problem. Please come in, and I'll almost beg, not quite, okay? But then I'll sign a warrant if I don't get it resolved. So what I'm saying in a long-winded way is follow up. If you find you've got a court order, you signed up to do something, and then you see that you can't. For example, someone signs up to do a class, and what they find is, they mistakenly thought that they were eligible, and they aren't eligible to be in that program. I'll go through what that looks like. Or you sign up for a payment plan and you lose your job. It's not like you're sitting here today knowing that's going to happen to you. I hope that doesn't happen to anyone. But if it does, what you want to do is convey to the court, hey, I'm having problems. I need to talk to someone about it. A clerk will talk to you about it. If the clerk can't solve it with you, either through email, letter, and a bit of things we can do over the phone to direct you, then you can set a Zoom meeting and talk to me about it, and we'll get you back on track. I have been doing this a long time, going on almost 20 years now, and I can tell you that there is a solution. Okay, so if you run into a problem, don't think that the problem is not solvable. It's just that you might need help figuring out the best way to do that, and reach out to us, okay? Now, I want to get back to the first thing I said, which is that if you're given a ticket or given a citation, those are all methods for accusing someone. That's what a ticket is. It's an accusation. And when you enter a plea, you're giving an answer or response to that accusation. And if you haven't entered a plea on your case, today I will ask for your plea. There are three options for pleading: guilty, not guilty, and no contest. Now, we're all presumed not guilty, and we have the right to maintain that innocence and plead not guilty. And when we do that, we're ultimately asking, hey, I think the state should prove this case against me. That really means you're saying, I would like a trial, okay? So if you're maintaining your innocence, it's no problem at all, and you're not giving any, I have people say, sorry, yeah, it's no need to apologize. That's what the law says, okay? But we just need to take the route that your plea takes us, okay? And that route will be a pretrial on Zoom, which is happening today. Ms. Warren is doing that for us today, along with the folks who have a case here. So that's the first step. Sometimes cases are resolved at that point. People see that she might be willing to make an offer there. And if so, well, then I usually will follow it. Sometimes people, don't want to do that, and that's also their right. And so the next setting, which we've already set you for, if you have a Zoom meeting for pretrial, you also got a final setting. Well, we'll have that live. So the next setting will be a live one where we're setting the bond and then moving toward trial and figuring out what kind of trial. And I see a phone number trying to get in. I'm gonna let that person in and visit with them briefly when I see that they're hooked up. So the other two options for pleading are guilty or no contest. Now, guilty means I did this, okay? And no contest is just a neutral way to move forward without admitting or denying the offense. So a person pleading no contest is just saying, I'm not admitting it, I'm not denying it, I just want to move forward with sentencing. Person on the phone, believe ending in 151, could you just give me your name, please?
Gabriela Santiago.
Okay. Let me just mark you here. And let me pull your file too. So if you're pleading guilty or no contest, we're going to move forward with sentencing. And that normally means paying your fines and costs. But there are some exceptions, and I do want to tell you about those. Let me just keep things on the movement by talking to Mike Russell and Ms. Warren. Just one moment. Get Santiago properly identified. Ms. Warren, is the case moving to resolution or toward trial?
Yes, Your Honor, I believe we will move towards resolution. What we're going to do is, Mr. Russell has agreed that his client would be in compliance by our next hearing,
Okay,
and that should already be set. So he and I will be in communication, or he will appear at that hearing.
okay. Where's the final setting? Oh, excuse me. Okay. I got it. The clerk is training me to something new. May 5th at 3 o'clock. And Mr. Russell, welcome. I honestly did not recognize you with the mask. But we have actually had you in court before. Good morning. Okay, we'll see you May 5th, okay? I think he's still on silent, but I got the affirmative from the nod. All right, we're good to go. I'll go ahead and remove you from the meeting unless you have any further questions. Okay, thank you. Ms. Warren, we also have for Joel Gaston, Brad, I believe Brad McClellan, is that right, Mr. McClellan? You're here for Gaston? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and
Yes,
let you.
yes, ma'am.
I'll let you move forward while I continue talking to folks.
Thank you.
And so let me talk to you just briefly about options that you have for dismissal, okay? Because what a lot of people say, and this is nobody, it's not unusual, okay, is I just want this to go away. I don't want this to be happening. So I can't just throw cases out, okay? What I can do is I can offer you the things that allow for that dismissal to happen. So there are 5 ways to get a dismissal in a Class C court, okay? And one of them is if Ms. Warren agrees and dismisses. I don't see that happening a lot, but I see that she will compromise on certain things. For example, we just had a junk and debris case. I know for a fact she's not going to throw those out, but if they bring the case into compliance, she'll probably reduce their fine. Okay. Sometimes she will do a dismissal, however. Okay. And I really cannot tell you what she's going to do. You're welcome to talk to her or to just listen to what she has to say without saying very much back, okay, because she represents the state. But what I will tell you is that's one option, okay? The 4 I have available here, let me talk to you about what I have available. So you can have a compliance dismissal. That is where you have something that can be brought up to date and dismissed. A good example would be if you had an expired registration charge. And a lot of people don't realize this, but if you come to court on time and you've registered the vehicle and paid all the fees that DPS / the Department of Motor Vehicles wants you to pay, usually there's some $20 fees and things like that. You have to tell them I've had a ticket. They charge you some fees, and then actually those are about $8. And then you come over here on time and you've done everything you should do. You pay a $20 fee and get dismissed instead of paying $165, right? Now, I don't expect everybody to know that list of things because it's really very detail specific. I do know, and I'll tell you. Now, you're welcome to ask, okay? You can say, is this one of those cases? But I am, if you think I've missed something, just ask me. But I normally will just say, hey, let's try to get you to a dismissal. And I'll start driving my questions toward, is this person going to show up on time and come back and be qualified for that dismissal? And if so, I'll give you the option because I'm paid to be here. It's your time, but it's also your money. And if you have a better option available, I'll be letting you know about that. Okay. So that's one thing, a compliance dismissal. The second would be if you have something that can be dismissed through, not compliance, but through a driver safety course option. That's always going to be moving violations. So registration wouldn't be one of those, nor would an insurance case, okay? And insurance can't be brought up to date and dismissed either. It's not a compliance issue. You either had it at the time of the stop or not. That's what a jury would ask themselves. So there's no defense under the law for that one. It can't be brought up for compliance, and you can't dismiss it through driver safety. But the moving violations where you start the vehicle going, that's how you think about a moving violation is you pressed the gas or the brake, okay, or didn't, but there's motion, right? So with the driver safety course option, again, though, there's some pre-qualifications, and I don't expect everybody to have those memorized. I, of course, do because I do it all the time. So I'll walk you through it and see what's available for this person. Can we help them? And if I think that I can get you there, I'll start talking to you about it. And if you say, you know, I really don't want to do any of that, well, I'm not going to make you because I can't make people do those things. I can't force you into a class, for example. Okay. But I'll give you the option. And if you don't want to take it, that's fine. What I'll tell you about every ticket, and this is true for every ticket, there's a court cost, there's a fine. Okay. When I give you a number like 219, part of that is a court cost and part of that is a fine. The court cost is set by the Texas legislature. If you and I don't like them, we have to talk to the legislature about that. The fine is set by me. I'm the judge, so that's a job that I do. When you pay the driver safety course option, you pay the court cost, okay? The fine will go on hold. You get your course turned in, you get your record turned in, I dismiss your ticket, it is not reported on your record, and I waive the fine. It will be cheaper to do that process and get rid of your ticket than to pay the whole ticket. And the reason for that is because we incentivize that option. And the reason we incentivize that option is to try to get people to be a safer driver. And statistically, when you take the course, you wind up with a safer driver. That's just a statistic reality, okay? So if it feels like I'm driving that, like, hey, you want to do it, want to do it? It's because I figure most people want to save money and most people don't mind being safer, okay? Let me check, let me let a couple people in. One person just got somehow removed, and I think he's halfway still here. But anyway, we'll get him in. And folks just joining us, stay quiet for a few minutes. I want to talk to Mr. McClellan and Miss Warren. And Miss Warren, how are we looking on the Gaston case?
Your Honor, Mr. McClellan and I are working out an agreement. And so we will speak again before the next hearing. Otherwise, he has been told to appear and announce ready.
That next hearing is on 5/19 at 1 o'clock, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
And so if the case isn't fully resolved by then, that means signatures, payment, everything in order. And the court staff, not the prosecutor who never does this actually, but the court staff is telling you, hey, it's off. Then we will expect to see you. Okay, Mr. McClellan?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, just making it clear my position. Absolutely, just want to make sure you know that only the judge can excuse folks from court. And that's not just said for your benefit, you're an officer of the court, but I have other folks here who repetition is the helpful thing there. So I will see you then, if not before.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. I'll remove you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And Ms. Warren, thank you. Your next person is actually, Isaiah Howard, and he has been here all along. Let me find him now. I wonder if something happened. Oh, there you are, sir. Excuse me. Mr. Howard, you are next. And let me send you an invite, and that's to talk to the city's prosecutor, Ms. Warren, okay? Thank you. Should be heading your way. Remember to come back in when you're done. Okay. Let's see. So the driver safety course option is a good benefit. And that's one of the reasons I'm kind of pushy about it, is I figure most people wouldn't take their time today if they weren't concerned about their record and or their pocketbook or both. There are plenty of people who just either paid at the window or didn't show up. So I give a lot of information in these conferences because I feel like if it were me, that's what I would want. So my next thing that I want to tell you about, so far you've learned 2 options I have available for dismissal. The third one is called a deferred disposition. And it is what it says. Deferred disposition means to delay making final. And if you give me a plea of guilty or no contest, plus under Texas law, a request for a deferred disposition, I have to entertain it. Okay. So guilty or no contest, but I'd like a deferred. That's what that would look like. I'll remind you of that in a moment. What that is, that's a written agreement between yourself and the court. And you agree to do certain things that will be listed on your document, and I will agree to dismiss. And if I approve that, then that's what we put in place. But I will need signatures today. We have to sort out payment, and I have to decide if I'm requiring a class, a record, or anything of that nature. Okay. So here's how that would work. Guilty or no contest, but I'd like a deferred. Let's say it's a speeding ticket, okay, or a moving violation. And I say, yes, I'll grant that, but I want payment. And I have to sort that out. Each person's different, okay, because some people are working, some people are in between jobs, some people have really good paying jobs, some people don't. And I've got to sort that out, okay? And I just work with each person individually in that case because each person deserves that attention. So we'll get that part nailed down, okay? I'll tell you if I'm requiring a class. I'll tell you how to find a class. We'll put that all in writing and I'll need your signature today. If that means you drive over here, that means you drive over here. If you can print it, sign it, and either scan it back or take a readable photograph of it, then I might do it that way, okay? So we'll set that up. At the end of your deferral period, I look and see, did the person do the things that they agreed to do? And are they on time with those things? So let's say I order a class and it's due in 30 days and you turn it in 40 days. I might say they didn't do it, right? So get really clear about what you have to do and get it done, or else what do? You reach out to the court before you default, okay? Like we talked about at the beginning. But if I grant a deferred and you do it properly, you keep it off your record, and that's the advantage. So that's the third way to gain a dismissal. And the magic way to get that is enter a plea and ask at the time that you enter the plea, okay? And the reason I highlight that is if you've been at a higher level court with a friend or watched a proceeding on TV, you've seen only the prosecutor can recommend a deferral. And the prosecutor can. You can ask the prosecutor for a deferral. But in a Class C court in Texas, you can ask the judge, okay? It's an exception. You're allowed to do it. So, now, if you plead not guilty and you want a deferred, I can't do that. That's like oil and vinegar, right? Because you can't say, I'd really like a trial to see if I'm going to be found guilty, but sentence me now. So I can't sentence you and not sentence you at the same time. And I get that request pretty regularly. People don't understand. But really those can't mix, all right? And then the fourth way to gain a dismissal is if you are a student in high school. Okay, not college, but high school students can ask for teen court. And I don't think I have any today, but if I do, I will address that when you come up. Hi, Miss Warren. It looks like y'all are ready with Mr. Howard. And let's, Howard, we've got 421. And so are we heading to resolution? Or are we moving forward today?
We've resolved, and Mr. Howard has entered a plea of no contest on both citations.
Okay,
He'll pay the total fine and cost on one charge and court cost on the other charge.
okay. And
Go ahead.
No, please continue.
Mr. Howard does need a payment plan. He is on disability.
Okay. He has a payment plan right now. How's it going? Okay. So, Mr. Howard, what we need today is I'll follow the recommendation and we need your signature on the new payment plan. It's going to look just like the old payment plan because you're on time. Is that payment plan working for you? Do we need to make adjustments?
Oh, no, it's working.
Okay. What's going to happen is it won't go up. It's going to last longer. Okay. So I'll get reductions from Ms. Warren. We'll put that in place and we'll ask you to come sign for that. Can you come by and sign for that before noon?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
Okay. And Ms. Warren, which case is the costs case?
The 6031, well, they're both 6031.
The four numbers?
Let's do the 2080741.
Okay, that becomes costs only. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do I have your recommendation that I make that adjustment now in court?
Yes.
Okay, I'll just write on it that she made the recommendation. And that way we can keep that paper flow going. And that means, Mr. Howard, that we should be able to get that up to the front desk by about 11 o'clock. Will that work for you?
Yes, ma'am. I can be up there like a little bit after the video.
Okay, that's fine. Just be patient if it's not all in order yet, okay?
Yes,
We
ma'am.
could
Yes,
have it,
ma'am.
but yeah. Okay, so I will follow that recommendation and we'll just make sure when you get here, just review it and make sure it makes sense to you. If there are any questions, a clerk should be able to help you. If a clerk can't, well, they'll get a note to me, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Howard.
Thank you.
And thank you, Ms. Warren. And so your next case, Ms. Warren, is Catherine Spates. I believe that's right. Yes. And Ms. Spates, I'll ask you to start video. And I'll ask you to unmute. And then I'm going to move you to the, you'll get an invitation to the prosecutor's pretrial space. Okay, and so what I will say is at this point, that's everything I've got in terms of dismissal options. Let me add someone who's now trying to get in. It says Brian Paul's phone. I don't think I know who that is. Oh, there we go, Brian Paul Shower. So he's going to be at the end of the list. And I do want to know why he's 30 minutes late. Mr. Shower, try to connect to your audio. He appears to be sleeping on screen. Mr. Shower, are you awake? Okay, I am removing you because you're sleeping in court. And I don't allow it. Let me try. Well, his audio isn't connecting either. So he's asleep. He's completely sleeping. And he can't hear me because his audio isn't connecting. So maybe he'll make a better connection if he tries again. All righty. Well, that's interesting. Let me just sign this form. Yes, what happens is it adds and his payment just blooms out. It lasts longer, but it doesn't go up, especially due to his disability. I wouldn't want to. So I will begin with Chad Chelsea. And Mr. Chelsea, you look ready. Let's see where we are. We have a warrant.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Give me just a quick moment to review. You submitted financial information. Let me
Yes,
have you
ma'am.
raise your right hand. Do you
Yes, ma'am.
swear or affirm that the information you provided on those forms is true,
Ye-
correct, and accurate? So help you God.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Okay, let's see where we are. So, does your daughter live with you and your son as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And are you the only parent in the home?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm actually going to show that you are unable to make payments, Mr. Kelsey.
Yes, ma'am.
And forgive this question, but I really do ask everybody this question,
Yes, ma'am.
just to see if there's a break in there for you somewhere. Have you had any jail time in the last year?
No, ma'am.
Okay. My next question is, can you tell me the nature of your disability?
I've been battling cancer since I was 16.
Okay. What's your status right now?
I've been in remission for a year now.
So I normally order community service at this point,
Yes, ma'am.
and that'll come to 19 hours.
Okay.
And just due to things out there in life,
Yep.
you and I know there are so many. I'm going to give you 60 days to complete that. But if you
Okay.
need more than 60 days, then you need to come to the court or email in and apply for an extension so that you don't get a warrant. Okay.
How many hours was that? Let me write that down.
19. But here's the rub. I need your signature today
Okay.
on a waiver form, because if you work for the city, they do require a waiver be on file. So can you come by the court this morning?
When do I need to come by there?
This morning,
This morning?
before noon, can you make
Okay.
it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what we'll have there is, there's one form for you to sign.
Yes,
There's a
ma'am.
list. There's a list of places where you can do the work. It's not an exhaustive list. It's a starter list. There's some written directions that tell you what I do and don't accept. Okay.
Okay.
And then what will happen is you can pick a place. It tells you how to reach them. You line up with those folks that you choose and go get it done. You'll have a timesheet to keep track of your hours.
Okay.
They have to sign off on your hours and initial your hours. But if you get your hours done and get them turned in on time, or apply for an extension if you can't, and
Okay.
then on time,
Yes, ma'am.
then I will zero out your balance. Okay.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
All righty. Any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just come on up. Okay.
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 Bye-bye.
Anthony Leaks trying to get in. I'm gonna make Mr. Leaks wait. Folks in here have been waiting long enough. Alan McReady, if you will, where is he? It's 754. Mr. McReady? Mr. McReady, are you there? It's just a sleepy Monday for people. Good morning. Mr. McReady, can you unmute so that I can hear you? Mr. McReady, we're not communicating right now. Hi, Mr.
Hello?
McReady. Hello, how are you?
Wrong one.
I'm sorry.
My name is Donald Butler.
Okay, Mr. Bueller. Let's see. Is it your name on the case?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is he on the? Okay. Let's see. Okay, McReady seems to be gone. Mr. Bueller, I'll be with you very shortly.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm going to rename him. So that I don't lose track of him. John Elwell is back on. I think he went off for a moment or something happened. Anthony Leaks. Is he listed today? Yeah. Right. Okay, Alan McReady, if you're here, you need to unmute so that I can see you. Looking for Alan McReady. You were here at the beginning and you seem to have gone. So I will come back to him and call for him. And Ms. Bush, I'll be right with you. Ms. Warren, let's go ahead and review the Spates case.
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Spates would like to proceed to trial.
Okay, Ms. Spates, our next court date is going to be May 19th at 1 o'clock. And we will plan to see you at that time. This is a failed to prevent an animal at large charge, a no rabies tag charge, and a failed to prevent an animal at large charge. Those two charges for animal at large being November 20th and December 5th. Okay? We'll see you May 19th, and I will expect to have you here live and set your bond and execute some paperwork at that time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just the reminder is all I need. And so, Ms. Warren, let's see. Your next person will be, hold on one moment. We've got that one marked off. We've got Mr. Howard, Ms. Spates. Your next person is Gabriela Santiago Santos. Ms. Santiago Santos, I will ask you to unmute and you'll receive an invitation to go to the breakout room with the prosecutor who represents the state of Texas, okay?
I didn't.
Yeah, you'll receive that. And actually on that docket, let me just clean up a little bit. We've got people who showed up. Let's see. Miss Santiago Santos. Not sure where. There she is. She's. And then I have, after that, I have Brian Shower. After that, I have Mr. Leaks. No, I don't have Mr. Leaks. I have Mr. Rojas. And then I have Mr. Leaks. Mr. Leaks, I have a really quick question though. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, where were you for the last 30 minutes when we were all here?
Man, I wasn't able to log in like that.
Sorry?
I was not able to log in like that.
Why?
Because I had to call up there and apparently y'all secretary can't tell me anything about what's going on with this in order to get the information to be on here.
Well, she would have sent the link to you or you wouldn't be here.
She didn't send me anything. I don't have to sit here and lie to you.
So how did you get into this meeting if you don't have
She gave me a
link?
phone number, man, and I put that in there.
Okay, let's watch the attitude or you'll find yourself out of this meeting. All righty. Goodbye. Ms. Santiago, did you get disconnected? She's supposed to be in with, right? Yeah. Yeah, she's just got a phone number and should be okay. We're having all kinds of crazy stuff today. All right, so leaks, I'll just, you'll have to reschedule. I'll review him and see if I'm doing that. Hi, Ms. Bush, good morning. Here we go.
Good morning.
Good morning. So let me tell you a little bit about where it is from my perspective, and then I'll listen, okay? There are two cases. One is for failing to notify of sterilization, and one is for failing to notify of a rabies shot. One of the things that happens with these, and let me see if I have it in the file. Okay, I have no contest plea on one. Both on here?
Should be
Just
probably
have
both
the-
of them.
Yes. Let me just clarify there are two cases. Let's start February 21st, a fail to notify of rabies shot for an animal, and the costs and fines are $226. How are you pleading to that charge?
No contest.
Okay. And then on the fail to notify of sterilization, how are you pleading?
No contest.
Okay. And let me look at your payment application too, okay? So request for a payment plan. And I also saw a request for a $50 a month payment plan. I'm missing some information, but my first question would be, is that something you could do?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes.
Okay.
I've
Go
got
ahead.
a student loan refund that's coming in the next few weeks that would be able to just take care of all of it.
Okay. Can you sign for a payment plan today of $50 a month at least?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you make a first payment today?
Oof. Let me just check real fast.
Certainly. And if not, when could you make a first payment?
If not today, I could definitely do Friday.
Okay, let's schedule for Friday.
Okay.
You can pay online or by phone. If you find that you want to pay it today early, there's no penalty when you do that. It just moves it along faster. Your first payment due not later than April 2nd, which is this Friday. If you take more than 30 days to pay it off, 30 days from today, you wind up with a $15 fee per case. So if you pay one or both off early, you won't pay that, okay? But for now, I'll just say $50 a month until further notice. You'll just be on that. Can you sign for that if we email it to you and scan it and back to us signed?
Oh, yes, Your Honor. Absolutely.
Okay, we'll get that to you in the next hour or so to the email. And if you don't receive it within, say, an hour and a half, call and check on it, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, Mr. Leaks wants back in. Of course. What's that? Let me take care of this. All I have left is McReady. Let me look and see what's going on. I had Miss Bush and Mr. Kelsey. Alan McReady seems to have disappeared. He was here. John Elwell. Mr. Elwell?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, and if you could start video, that would be helpful. Let's see, I'm gonna have Mr. Butler. Mr. Butler, you're next if you're still here. Yes, I see you. Coming and going today. Okay, Mr. Elwell, we had granted team court Let me look and see what's going on with that. We had an online or in-person driver safety course and a removal of the B restriction on your license and a $40 payment. Have you been able to remove the license restriction yet?
I was able to get my license or take the test, and also I got an appointment at the DPS for the 5th of April.
April 5th.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'll modify, because I know how things are going with DPS right now, that I don't need that back from you until the 6th of April, the day after you do your test, okay?
I've already taken my test, the driver's test. I just haven't. I got DPS to go get my license.
So I'm
5th.
not sure that I'm following. If you've already done it, why don't I have it?
Well, I took the test. I haven't got to actually get my license.
You haven't done the driving portion.
No, I have. I took the driver's test at the defensive driving in Temple.
They give you a paper license.
No, that
But
I
you-
got like all my stuff in the envelope that I take to the DPS, so they can do it for me
What is your appointment for?
to get a license. I only have my permit.
Okay. And that's when your B restriction will be removed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you complete your driver safety course?
Yes, ma'am. There was
We
at the
haven't.
end part I didn't understand, and it was that I needed the notary. I had actually sent it to them to get the certificate, and I figured that out yesterday when I went to the court.
Okay, how quickly can we get that from you?
I'm going to start on that today. See if I can send it to them.
Okay, I want it by the 6th.
Uh,
Okay, got it. Thank you. And then did we get his fees? Okay, all right, it's another week. Get busy.
No.
If not, come see me
uh,
with specifics, okay?
thank you.
All right, I just modified your order to reflect those changes, okay?
Uh,
That way you can turn them in without any problems from the front.
thank you.
Thank you. Can we email that to him? Okay. Any questions, Mr. Elwood?
No, ma'am.
Elwell? Okay, thank
No,
you.
ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Butler? Let's see. I have 3 cases pending. They all involve a stop February 28th.
Babe.
And,
Okay.
well, Donald, Allen. Mr. Butler?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so there are 3 cases pending. One is for operating a vehicle without valid registered insignia. Your fines and costs are $181. How are you pleading to the charge?
No contest.
Okay, and there is an open container to the driver charge. The costs and fines are
No
$250.
contest.
Okay. And then no insurance?
No contest.
Okay. You submitted some income information. Give me a moment to review that, and I'll be right back with you. Just stay handy.
Okay.
Ms. Warren, where are we on the Santiago Santos case?
Your Honor, Ms. Santiago is on video and the phone, so
Yeah.
it may be for audio for her. Her phone needs to be brought back into the meeting.
Okay.
And then she will request a deferred for settlement. And she's also requesting community service based on her financial condition.
Okay, tell me again the request. I'm sorry, I was trying to move her, but really I can't move her. She has
Okay.
to move herself back in.
Okay.
Go ahead again.
I can
I'm
go
sorry.
back in there and tell her that.
She's
but
visually, yeah, that's a
Mhm.
good idea because she'll be
Okay.
able to hear you.
Okay.
She can't hear us.
All right. So she's going to take a deferred. She's changed her plea to no contest. And she does want to explore the community service option
She's a
based
good
on her,
candidate.
I'm sorry.
She is a good candidate. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
If you'll let
So-
her know to come back in, I'll take it from there.
Okay.
And your next person is.
And so, would I tell her to hang up and then call back in?
I think that's probably her best bet.
Okay.
Yeah. And I actually have Anthony Leaks would be your last person. And I don't know. We're having some issues. So let's see. Thank you, Ms. Warren.
Her audio wasn't there. She may have already hung
Okay,
up.
I'm going to try to sending her a note because she's technically listed in that room on her phone.
Oh, okay.
Here, I'm going to try to work with your next person briefly, Mr. Leaks. I have had some difficulty with him. He claims that we've never sent him a link to be in the meeting, even though he is on the link trying to get into the meeting. There's Miss Santiago, so I'll go ahead and let her in. And so I really don't know if he's prepared to be respectful in court today. And if not, I'm going to leave him out of the meeting. I have tried. He's hung up on me and been verbally not even polite, let alone respectful. So I'm not completely sure he's coming your way. Yeah.
Okay.
Let me see what I can do there.
Miss Santiago, can you speak?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, okay. There
We
she
can hear
goes.
you.
Okay,
Yes,
cool.
ma'am. Yeah, your phone is still in the other meeting. I don't know why. But Ms. Warren has relayed to me the offer that she made. I've got one person ahead of you, but it looks like I might be able to order community service. Just hold tight for a moment, okay?
Okay, sounds good. Quick question, Your Honor. I do
Yeah.
have a little one downstairs. Do you mind if I set the phone down while you deal with your other client and
As
come right
long
back?
as you can hear me when I call your name, okay?
Okay, sounds
All
good.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. I will get right back to her. Mr. Butler, let me complete things with you first. Okay. Mr. Butler, have you been able to get the vehicle insignia put onto the vehicle?
Ma'am?
What a dismissal option. I'm trying to see if that's one where we could do a dismissal. And we're checking on that first. And while we do that, let me check your financial situation. I'm showing that you wanted to pay $25 per month. What day of the month?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. What day of the month would work best for you?
On the 3rd?
Okay. Beginning April 3rd?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and that's technically, I believe, a Saturday this month coming up. So we'll, yeah, it's okay. So what we'll do, Mr. Butler, is we'll put it on that date, but it will automatically default to the following workday, which will be
That'd be
Monday for
Monday.
us. And so that'll give you
Okay,
a couple of extra days, okay?
The question, ma'am,
Yes, sir.
do I bring that to y'all or what?
So that's a choice. If you bring it here, there's no fee. You just bring it.
Okay.
If you wind up needing to pay online or by phone, the
Oh,
card company.
ma'am, I don't know how to do that.
Oh, okay. Well, do you know where we're located?
Yeah, you're down, what used to be Texas Bank.
Exactly. So if you'll come here now, you can sign up for this payment plan, okay?
Okay.
Can
So
you
you
come
need me to come here
before,
right now?
can you come before noon?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we'll have all your paperwork at the front desk. We won't take very much of your time, and you'll get a copy
Okay.
and a list of payments, okay?
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ms. Santiago, I'll be right with you. I'm going to try to talk to Mr. Leeds. Let me make sure. Actually, that's the pretrial docket. Ms. Warren, your next person actually is going to be Mr. Rojas. And I will invite him into your pretrial room. And I'll start trying to see if I can get Mr. Leaks on board. Okay. Got a little turned around on that one. Brian shower disappeared. And let's see. Rojas. Miss Santiago, can you hear me? Miss Santiago? There we are.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
So right now what I'm showing is that you're currently on unemployment.
correct.
Is that every month, once or twice a month?
I want to say it's twice.
Yeah, it should be. And the child support, do you actually receive it always?
Most of the time I get the correct amount. Yes.
And do you have roommates or other help?
No, ma'am, it's
The
just me.
baby doesn't bother me, ma'am, really.
Okay, I'm really sorry.
It's okay, don't worry. It does not
I
bother
know,
me.
baby. I know. I'm so sorry.
It's
I
harder
know.
for
Hang on.
you than it is us. Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
do you, who would watch your child while you do community service?
That's another thing I'm gonna have to figure out. I'm a single mom.
Mhm.
That doesn't really help a whole lot.
I really do understand. I
He
have a
kind of just
question.
complains about it. So
What's our fines and costs total? So I have a couple of things we could do. One, I could order community service. It would be 13 hours. I'd give you 60 days. The
Okay.
other would be to just reduce you to costs, which are 134, and break that into like 3 payments.
is there any way I can do 13 hours in one day?
I don't know a place that will do that, but you're welcome to see. We would have to make sure that it's a provider that we would accept.
Okay.
So,
It's okay. It's okay, baby. It's okay.
so I could do 46, 45, and 44, and just do a payment once a month. Or I could do 13 hours.
I can do the 40s in 3 payments.
Could you make a payment today?
Give me 1 second. Let me check my bank account real quick.
Okay.
And you said it would be how much today?
If you were able to pay today, it would be $45.
Okay. Yeah, I can go ahead and make that today.
Okay, and then a month from today, can you do 45?
I'll figure it out, but yeah.
And then a month after that, okay?
Okay. I do have a question, Your Honor.
Yes.
I'm moving to Colorado in the next 2 weeks.
Just let
because
us
I
know
have
your,
more help out there.
yeah. Let us know your address when you move, okay?
Okay.
And you can pay online or by phone.
Okay, do I call the regular municipal court number and give them the information at that point?
Yes, in fact, you're gonna come up here to sign all your paperwork this morning. and you
Okay.
can get their information today.
Okay, cool.
You can talk to them about changing your address and how to do that, okay?
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Do I leave the meeting or do I need to stay for anything
You
else?
leave the meeting and head on over, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, on the Rojas case, where are we?
Your Honor, we did reach a resolution. I
Okay.
did reduce the fine by $200. So it will be $300 instead of the $5. Court costs are $159. And this will be paid in a deferred 120 days. And also, I can't remember if I asked about income.
Okay, so it's a $300 fine plus the $159. So $459 is our total. And did you say deferred as well?
Yes.
Okay,
And
Any
I don't think
class?
I asked about his income, so.
okay. Sir, will you be able to make that payment?
What was it, like $500 in total?
It turns into $459.
Yes, ma'am.
And can you make, I think I've got that right. Let me double check that. Okay, thank you. And can you pay half of that today?
Yes, ma'am.
That's $229.50. And then when can you make the second payment of the same amount?
I can do it. I can pay it all right now, but
Okay. I'll put that in your order, okay? And we'll have your paperwork at the front desk probably in about half an hour or so.
so is this place that you're at? You're at the municipal court, right? In something?
Yes. Are you here already?
Yes, ma'am. I'm in
Okay,
the
still
front.
give us a few minutes to get your paperwork ready. Wait about 15 minutes, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Then in about 15 minutes, you can call in and say, I'm ready to come in. Okay?
Okay.
Okay,
All
thank
right.
you.
Thank you.
Let me try Mr. Leaks. Mr. Leaks, are you there? Mr. Leaks, are you going to communicate with us? Okay.
Hello.
Hi, Mr. Leaks. You know, we're ready and you're the last case, but I need to know that you're going to be respectful to this prosecutor as well as myself.
Okay.
Why did it take you so long to log on today?
I wasn't able to log in like I was supposed to.
Okay. Can we see your face, please? Okay. And you're not driving a vehicle at this time?
No.
Okay. We can give it a try. I will tell you that Ms. Warren won't be able to accommodate a conversation with you unless you remain respectful. She will just simply leave. You'll get a room assignment request and you should click on the link and join that meeting. I'll expect you to go first. He doesn't get Ms. Warren an inch.
Okay.
I know you know how to do that. So
Right.
thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Rojas. She did a reduction of the deferred. Yeah, and I'll just notate her reduction so we're not waiting on paper. Okay, Jalen Jacobs. Too bad. Could have been a possible dismissal. Let me look at. Thank you. I always find it so funny when people say, oh, how do they make a payment plan? And then they go, well, I can just pay it. We can jump into hoops over here. Yeah. Oh, he's doing it. Yes. And he's paying it today. And I'll just make a note on hers that she approved in Zoom. Wasn't Brian Shower in at first? Okay. Okay. Yeah. You're right. That's exactly right. See, like the, it's okay. You're great. In fact, you are awesome. Thank you. That can be a final copy with the signature. Okay, this is so strange. Mr. Shower shows a not guilty plea. Okay, yeah, so he should definitely be on the docket. All right. Okay. Ms. Warren, let me hear from you first.
Your Honor, Mr. Leaks has changed his pleas on both cases to no contest. And the state has made the following offer. He will pay on ticket 21808021 the full amount of the fine of $426. And then on the second ticket that was on December 24th, ending in 8010, the second animal at large charge, he'll pay the cost of $76.
Okay, hold on just a moment. got 3 cases. Let me look them up because I
I
had a
only
plea-
see 2 on my docket.
Right, you only had 2 on your docket but I have different ones on your docket than you do. Let me get that pulled up. Oh. Mhm. Are the 2 cases pending before Ms. Warren? One has a not guilty plea on it. Okay, my confusion. Go ahead now. On the second one,
Yes, that's gonna be cost.
I'm not ordering it. Costs only?
76 costs.
Okay, reducing all fines. It's past due, but it doesn't have a warrant, correct? No, I'm not talking about that one. The one that is pending on December 24th, 2019. So there are 2 preventing animal at large, okay? And one has costs and fines of $326. And the costs actual are 76? Yes, okay, we're on the same page. Okay, and when are those getting paid?
Your Honor, Mr. Leaks did say that he would have trouble paying and is requesting community service.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Warren. Mr. Leaks, can you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm that the information you're providing is true, correct, and accurate, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you. Your job, you're paid every 2 weeks?
I don't have that job anymore.
Okay. Are you working at this time?
Not on anything taxable.
Okay. I can order community service for part of your balance due. There is another balance due of $144 that cannot be ordered. If you pay $25 a month on that one, I'll order community service on the remaining amount. So 502 would be community service of 25 hours plus a $25 payment once a month. Can you make the first payment today?
Yes.
Okay. You'll need to swing by the court and sign off on that. Can we expect you in the next half hour?
Yes.
Okay, we'll see you then. Any questions?
No.
Thank you. Ms. Warren, do you have anything further? Thank you.